Okay, very good evening, all of you. Hope you all are well. Let's start with today's session. After a very big gap, we are again starting with our Java classes again. So let's continue. Now, today we are going to discuss one topic called data types, and then we will discuss all the data types which Java has provided. Okay, and then continuing with the next things. Now we are going to learn today what do you mean by data type. The data type indicates the type of value which is kept in a variable. Isn't it, guys? What do you mean by data type? The data type indicates what? The type of value which is kept in memory. Or you can say the type of value which is kept in a variable. Because variables are also placeholders in memory only, isn't it? Memory is a large array of bytes. Like this is your memory, which is a large sequence of what? Or array of bytes, right? One byte, second byte, third byte, and large sequence of bytes are there, or array of bytes are there, right? And in that only some bytes are reserved for your variable. Like if you have created one variable age, so according to the data type, whatever the data type is, according to that some amount of memory is reserved. Then to that memory some address will be there, obviously, and computer will deal with that address. But we will give some logical name to it. Like I have given age, suppose. Correct? And some value is stored here. Now what type of value which is kept in this memory, or what type of value which is kept in that variable is indicated by data type. So what is data type? I hope is clear to you. Okay, data type indicates type of value kept in memory location, or type of value which is kept in a variable. So it can be a whole number, it can be a floating number, anything. Clear? It can be a sequence of characters. So it depends on the data type. What type of value? So in simple terms, I hope what do you mean by data type is clear to you. So data type means type of value stored in memory location, or type of value kept in a variable. Okay, and that who indicates data type. Now actual proper systematic definition of data type is data type indicates the legal range and the legal operations which can be done on it. Means every data type indicates what is its legal range. Legal range means what is the minimum value, what is the maximum value, and is according to that the amount of memory changing? Yes. If the legal range is changing, the amount of memory is changing. Getting? But these principles not necessarily every programming language follow. Like some programming languages don't have such rule. Java is a strict type language, and therefore the data types will have their legal range. Getting? So data types, systematic definition of data type is that also. Some books give that definition also. Okay, data type indicates the legal range, and data type indicates the legal operations on those legal values. Agreed? Okay. Then what are primitive data types? So primitive data types means those which are provided by the language only. They are not user created. Means when users create on their own, so they are called as user defined. And that example is class. Class acts like a data type only, but class is a user defined data type. Programmers create on their own, but when the data types are provided by the language, they are called as primitive data types. Agreed? So what are primitive data types? Primitive data types are also called as built-in data types or inbuilt, and these are the data types provided by that language itself. Means the designer of that language has decided these are the standard data types and you have to use it. But using those data types, if you create some new data types of your own, then they are called as user defined. Okay, so always remember, in Java there are only two category data type. Okay, means data types are into two categories. One is called as primitive and the other is called as non-primitive. Okay, or you can call it as primitive, non-primitive. Okay, always remember. So it is primitive, non-primitive, or you can call it as scalar or vector, or you can call it as single valued. Scalar means it will have only single value. It will not have group of value. And non-primitives come under non-primitive, that is vector. So single valued, so here it will be multi-valued or group. Many values group makes a non-primitive. Getting? Or you can call it as elementary, or you can call it as group type. Right? And always remember, non-primitives are always objects and they are primitive are never objects. Means they are not objects. Whereas some languages have everything as object. Best example is Python. In Python there is no difference between a non-object and object. There everything is object. Here primitives are never objects and non-primitives are always objects. Please understand. Getting? Means whenever it is a non-primitive, it is always a object. You can also call it as built-in, and here you can call it as user defined because it is programmer created. So when the programmers create, it is user defined, and when they are provided by the language only, they are called as built-in. And all user defined are always objects and primitives are never object. Okay, so hope till here it is clear to you. So till now I told you what do you mean by data type. Right guys, those who have joined late, just a quick recap in Crux. I told you data type means type of value which is kept in memory locations, or type of value which is kept in your program variable. One and the same thing, because do variables also occupy memory? Are variables placeholders in the memory? Yes or no guys? Keep responding. Are variables also names given to your memory location? So do variables occupy some memory? Getting or no? And the value in that memory keep changing. That's the reason we call it as variable. So variables are what? Placeholders in the memory. Variables are also occupying some memory. It is just a name given to that memory location. Okay. So data type is type of value which is kept in a memory, or type of value which is kept in your program variable. Does data type indicate the legal range, and does it indicate the legal operations? Yes or no? Do every data type indicate what is its legal range? What is the minimum value? What is the maximum value? Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So they indicate the legal range. And does it also indicate what legal operations can be done on it? Because some operations are not supported for some data type. Means for some data types, some operations are not allowed. So it tells you the legal range, the legal operations. Okay. And do data types tell the amount of memory which is going to get reserved? From the data type, do we come to know how much amount of memory will be reserved? Especially in Java, don't talk about other language. Like parallelly you are learning 3 languages. You are learning PHP also, you are learning Java also, you are learning Python also in one semester. Getting? So that's the problem. They all are different genre languages. Their genre is different. So please don't confuse between all 3. Learn all 3, but in your brain keep everything in that proper compartment. Don't mix up the concept of PHP in Python, Python in Java. Don't do it. Okay, keep everything in proper compartment. Okay, so what I'm saying, that they indicate how much amount of memory is reserved. Okay, that too is indicated by the data type. Then I told what do you mean by primitive data types. Now primitive data type also called as built-in. They are also called as scalar. They are also called as elementary. They are also called as single valued. Correct? And you can also call it as non-objects. Means primitives are never objects. And who is the other part of it? Means in Java only two categorizations are there: primitive, non-primitive. Okay, so non-primitives are also called vector, or you can call it as array, multi-valued, group type, objects, and whenever it is object means it is reference according to Java, or you can call it as user defined. Okay, so all the data types are either classified as primitive or non-primitive. Always remember, if it is not primitive, then it is sure a non-primitive, and non-primitive means it is sure a object. Okay, and when the data types are given by the language, it is built-in, and when we create it, programmers create in the form of classes, they are called as user defined. Okay, till here I hope it is clear. Only just remember, all the primitives, if you want to treat it like an object, okay, if these primitives you want to behave it like an object, then you have to wrap it in some classes. They are called as wrapper classes. Okay, so what are wrapper classes? I'll tell you. Wrapper classes are used to represent built-in as objects. Means when you want to treat that built-in data type like an object, then use this wrapper classes. Getting? I'll talk more on it, don't worry. First, we'll just go through what all primitive data types Java has provided. Okay, so all the data types which Java has provided, they have categorized. See here, there's one data type called Boolean, and it is never convertible to anyone else, and anyone else cannot be converted to Boolean. That is the speciality. But please understand, this is the rule of Java, not Python. Okay, so in Java you can never convert anything to Boolean, and you cannot convert Boolean to anything. Correct? So you can say like, they say that we don't establish relations in any other community. They say our relations are between Boolean and Boolean only. Okay, means I cannot convert, see here, like this, int of true. This is illegal. Means what I'm trying to convert, a Boolean to integer, is illegal. Or I am trying to convert, okay, see here, an integer to Boolean is also illegal. Java doesn't allow you. Conversion of Boolean to integer, integer to Boolean is not allowed. We will be learning this again when we'll come to conversion operators. Casting operator, when I'll come, I'll tell you. So one data type is Boolean. Agreed? Then the other data types. Okay, the other data types are integral and floating point. They have categorized that way. Okay, and the other is floating point. Only two. One, that Boolean, that is kept aside. Don't confuse with it. Boolean is kept aside, and that cannot be converted to anyone. Anyone cannot be converted to Boolean. It's a separate data type. Then the other data types are integral data type and floating point. Okay, now in integral also there are two. One is unsigned. You don't have to use keyword unsigned. Default it is unsigned. Okay, and the other are default signed. Right? Now you may have a confusion between what is signed and unsigned. So you should know it from C language, but okay. Anyways, if you don't remember, I'll tell you again. Remember, whenever it is unsigned, So whatever is its capacity, all are going to be positive. Like suppose its capacity is 256. Its capacity is 256. All the values will be positive only. That is 0 to 255. Is it going to be 256 only, 0 to 255? Total it is 256. All are positive if it is unsigned. Getting, guys? So who is by default unsigned only? Character in Java. In Java, character is default unsigned. You don't have to use keyword unsigned like C. Getting? Means in Java, whenever you try to give negative value to a character variable like this, will Java generate an error? Yes, guys. If you want, I'll show you some silly programs, one simple programs, and I'll show you. Character C equal to -45. Will Java generate an error? No, yes?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
It has to, because Java says characters can only have unsigned values. And unsigned means whatever the capacity is, I'm coming to the capacities later. I'm going to talk on it that later. So whatever the capacity of that character is, all the values are positive. Suppose its capacity is 64K. 64K means, you're understanding, na? 64,000. But 1000 means 1024, which is 655,546 something. So it will be last 45. Okay, actually 46. So these values, whatever these values are, all are positive. Getting? So as the capacity is positive, how can the negative value come? So it will give you an error. But does it happen in C? In C, what happens? Like if I'm creating a character variable and I'm trying to assign a negative value, does C give error or does it store that negative value? What do you say, guys? If you are knowing that language. No? Not a single person knowing? In C, if you try to assign a negative to a character in C language, no error come. Because in C, characters come in both the way. This character, according to C, is signed. And unless and until you use keyword unsigned, it is not unsigned. By default it is. In C, by default it is. Character is by default what? Unsigned. And as it is unsigned, you can assign negative, positive, both. But in Java, it's not like that. Java says characters are by default unsigned. Getting? Then comes signed category. Now you'll say, what is the difference between signed? So signed meaning whatever the capacity is. Like if its capacity is 256. Okay. So total 256 will be positive, 0 to 255, or half. Half negative, half positive. So it will be like this, 128 negative between 0 and this side 127 positive. When it total, it will be how much? Can you tell me from 127 minus till plus 127? Will it be total 256 only? What say, guys? If the total capacity is 256 and it is signed, so will all 256 be positive or half will be negative and half will be positive?
Half.
So 0 is considered in positive category. So therefore 0 is in positive. So 0 to 127, 128, and minus 1 to minus 127, 128. 128 and 128 makes 256. So total 256, but half negative, half positive. Getting on, guys? Okay. Now in that, who all come? So there are 4 in that category. One is byte. Okay. Another is short. Another is int. And next is long. All these four come under which category? All these four come under signed integral, and char comes in unsigned integral. Means in Java, if I'm creating a character variable and I'm assigning a positive value, will it complain? Will it complain? Or will it store this 34 in C? Yes or no? Will it store that 34 in C? Yes, obviously it will store it.
Yes.
Getting? Because 34 comes in that unsigned character range. Okay? And these four are there. So byte, short, int, long. Their capacity vary. This is 1 byte, this is 2 byte, this is 4 byte, this is 8 byte. Double, double, double. All four are in signed category. You don't have to write this keyword signed. Signed keyword is not to be used because they all four are by default signed. Okay? And next comes this one, that is floating point. And floating point means numerical value only, but they have decimal part also, scientific values. In that two come float and double. Okay? So float is 4 byte and double is 8 byte, but their storage mechanism is different. I'll explain you how they get stored. They are stored in IEEE notation. They are called as Mantissa exponent notation. There's one standard called IEEE standard. Okay, so according to that they are stored. I'll tell you about that later. So float and double. Getting? So altogether, how many data types are there in Java? 8 data types. One is Boolean, 1, char 2, this 4 total 6, and this 2, 8. Is it clear to you or no? All of you. Right? And their keywords are like this. Boolean is the keyword for Boolean. For character char. For byte, short, int, long. These are the 4 keywords. And for float and double, float keyword, double keyword. Getting? And the speciality of Java is none of these data types can be used in combination. You cannot use them in a combination. But can we use them in combination in C? Like this, can I write short int? In C, can I write short int? Can I write long double? No, yes, tell me. Can I write long int? Such combinations I can do in C or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can
Yes,
do.
yes, you can do it. But in Java, it is not at all allowed. You cannot use these all in combination. Alone you have to use. Alone char, alone byte, alone short. You cannot use short along with integer or int along with long is not allowed. All these 8 are to be used alone. Getting? Okay? And for all this 8, if you want to treat them as an object, are they by default treated as an object? No or yes? If you recall everything which I told you in the past. No. Why? Because Java says these primitives or built-ins are never objects. When they are non-primitives, then they are objects. Because non-primitives are user-defined. So Java treats user-defined as objects. And built-in, which language has provided, they are never objects. Getting? So by default, they are not objects. But if you want them to be treated as objects, then Java has given some classes called wrapper classes. From the name itself, it conveys that it is encapsulating, it is wrapping primitive within the object. Getting? Means it is converting these data types into objects. So which are those classes? See, for Boolean, there is a Boolean class. B is capital, remember. And all these classes are in lang package. Each and every line what I'm telling, please remember, it will be really helpful for interviews. Okay, because we conduct pre-placement activities also. And when we conduct pre-placement activity, we tell all this thing. All these basic things are there which are checked in your interviews. Okay, so B is capital because it's a class provided by Java. And this class is in lang package, java.lang. So boolean is for boolean, and for char it is character complete, and for byte it is byte short, for int it is integer complete, for long it is long only, for float it is float, and for double it is double. You understanding, guys? So double, double, float, float, all the things. Only just remember, for character it is complete character, and for integer it is complete integer. Right? Just a quick example I'll show you. See here. Now, if I write integer I equal to 100, is it an object or is it just a simple integer variable?
Simple integer variable.
Meaning, in memory, will it reserve some 4 bytes, give name I to it, and in that 4 bytes, will it store 100? What do you say, guys?
Yes.
Yes, correct. But if I'm using a wrapper, see here, integer I equal to new integer, and then to its constructor I'm passing 100. Now you don't know anything about constructor and all, don't worry. Now those who have already learned C++ and all, they might be knowing it. But those who don't know, leave it. When we'll come to that constructors and all that thing, you'll come to know. Just remember, whenever the object is created, some function is called automatic. Automatic one function is called. To that function, you are passing this 100. Okay. Now, if you use this style, see here what is going to happen. Is I going to be a reference variable? Okay. Now, what will happen is, on the stack part and on the heap part, it's going to be like this. Stack and the heap. Because you are going to use new keyword, and with new, whatever you allocate, it is always allocated. Runtime always on the heap. Whichever memory you allocate with new, it is always on the heap. So what will happen is, on the stack it will create one variable which is an object, but according to Java, every object is a reference variable. So I is an object of integer class. It's an object of integer class. But according to Java, every object is a reference variable. Getting? Which will be created on the stack. Now what this new will do, it will allocate memory as much as needed for this integer class object. So it will allocate memory for integer class object. Then within that object, it will encapsulate. Inside there will be some property, and in that property, property means characteristic, attribute. I hope you remember. Getting? Data. So in that object, there will be some property in which that 100 is stored, and now the reference of that object is returned, which is collected in this I. You understanding, guys? What is happening? Okay. Now, can you differentiate? If it is primitive, this thing is not going to happen. Directly some 4-byte memory is allocated, 100 is stored in it, and now directly that memory is going to have name I. This will happen when it is primitive. It's not a object. But when it is an object, what happens? It creates a reference variable. Is this I going to be a reference variable? Where is this reference variable I? On the stack. Reference means you got, no? In that what is going to come? Reference. I'm not talking about address. Why? Because Java never gives you direct address. I have shown it like this, but in reality it's not like that. This is kept in some hash table, and you get the hash table entry here called as a hash code. But that detail I have just for time being skipped it. I'm just telling the reference is kept here. So I is a reference variable created on the stack. Then this new operator, hear carefully, this new operator, will it allocate memory as much as needed for this integer class object? So it will create one object. Object means copy. Instance, copy. Okay. So copy always take, or instance always take memory. So it will allocate memory as much as needed for that integer class, within that object it will encapsulate your primitive value. Therefore, can we say your primitive is wrapped within the object? Now, is your primitive 100 getting wrapped in an object, and then that object reference come in I, and now this I can be treated like an object. Okay, but it is representing whom? That 100 only, but which is kept within the object. You understanding, guys? Okay, now you'll say why, but we need it later, appropriate time I'll tell you, don't worry. Clear? So this way you can wrap any other primitive values, right? Any other primitive values, like I am writing float f equal to new float and 4.5 f if I write. Here what will happen? Can anyone tell me? Is that 4.5 primitive now going to be represented as that 4.5 as an object? Means, will it create one float object of class float? Within that, will it encapsulate your float value 4.5? Means, will it store this 4.5 in some property of that class, and the reference is coming which is stored in your variable f. You understanding? Okay, now this is the newer older style of writing new. Now they have introduced one concept after Java 1.5, concept of auto boxing, auto inbox and auto outbox. That I'll talk later. Now we will not go into too detail. Only just remember, if you want to represent these all 8 primitives as a object, then what we have to do? Just quickly tell me. Yes. No, I'm waiting for the answer from you guys. If I want to treat all the primitives as an object, then what we have to do?
We have to use wrapper classes.
Yes, clear? So please answer it. Okay, I expect answers from you guys. So we have to use wrapper classes. Clear? So for every primitive, is there a corresponding wrapper provided by Java?
Yes.
Yes. So as there are 8 data types, there are 8 wrapper classes. 8 data types, 8 wrapper classes. And use those wrapper classes to treat your primitive value as an object. Getting?
Yes.
You will treat this primitive as a object. Let's move on. We will discuss all this now in detail. Now quickly you can go through this tree of primitive data types. Can you see? Is there one special data type called Boolean which is kept separate? The keyword is Boolean. Then numeric data type. In numeric, 2 are there, integral and floating. Here I used E extra, integral spelling is this. The numeric data type, we have 2 in numeric, whole numbers and floating point. Both come under numeric data type. Now in integral also there are 2, unsigned and signed. So in unsigned category by default who come? Character. And in signed category these 4 come, byte, short, int, long. And in floating point you have 2, that is float and double. So altogether there are 8 data types. Right guys? Okay, I hope it is clear to you.
Yes, sir.
Sure. Then what is primitive data type? I have already told you, the data types which are provided by the language itself. And using those data types, when we create our own new data type, like we create our new classes and then we treat that class as a data type. Okay. In the previous sessions when we talked about object-oriented programming concepts. So I hope in that we have talked about what is class, what is object. Do you remember, no? Class acts like a data type and objects act like variables of that data type. Getting? But when you create your own class and then you create variable of it, So that is user defined. It's not a primitive one. So primitive data types are never objects according to Python and according to Java. And that's the reason Java is not called as a pure OOP. It's called as a true OOP. It is a true object oriented, but it's not a pure object oriented. There is a debate between many people. Many people are saying that Java also should be called as a pure. Why, can you tell me? But some say no. Pure means what? I'll tell you quickly and let's see you people can answer it. Pure means everything in that language is an object. That language in which each and every value is converted to an object. The best example is Python. Getting? Everything, you have an integer, you float, double, string, anything, everyone is ultimately converted into an object. Then we call it as a pure object oriented. And that language in which object oriented concepts are there, class, object, constructor, destructor, inheritance, polymorphism, all that things are there. But primitives are not objects. Primitives are primitives only. They are not as object. So we call it as a true OOP. We don't call it as a pure OOP. If you Google it, there are so many forums and they debate on it that Java should be called as a pure OOP. Some group of people are saying no, Java should be called as a true OOP. I am also in the favor of that Java is a true OOP language. It's not a pure OOP. But why do you say Java should not be called as pure OOP? Can anyone tell me if you think? First of all, you got to know when we call a language as a pure OOP. Yes, guys? When we call a language as a pure object oriented. I am waiting for your answers.
When there is all object assigned.
When everything in that language is
object.
ultimately converted into an object. Each and everything is an object according to that language. Getting? Then it is a pure OOP. And the languages in which some things are not yet an object, some things are not converted to object, they are still primitive only. So they are true object oriented. Getting? True object means it supports all the OOP concepts, but some values are not automatically object. Getting? So they are called as true OOP but not pure OOP. Okay, so why do you think that Java should not be called as pure OOP? No, not a single person. Because in Java, yes guys,
काही data types object नसतात ना.
No, she is telling. Okay, you are also telling, but let me hear first. She was telling something.
Primitive
Yes,
data types are not objects.
Yes, very
They
good,
have to
very good.
convert it into object.
Yes, very good. You hear me very carefully. Huh? Just don't start your classes. Getting? I'm there to teach. Getting? You search a very good corporate job. Getting? I'm just telling you like that. What will happen? She'll start her classes. Then it will be a problem for my bread butter. No? Correct? So she's hearing very properly. Each and every line she's hearing carefully. What she said, that primitives are not objects in Java, and you have to convert that primitives into objects by using wrapper classes. Are they automatically objects? No. And that's the reason some people say Java is only true object oriented, because it supports OOP concepts, but primitives are not objects. You have to convert it. And some people, why they are saying that Java also should be called as a pure OOP? Because they say wrappers are provided. No? So using wrapper, ultimately you can convert primitive also to object. Means finally everything will come into object. Get it? But the problem is that we have to convert. It doesn't get automatically converted. Get it? Therefore there is a debate. Some people say pure, some people say true. But maximum books, like if you read complete reference, Herbert Shield complete reference Java, so in that he's saying that Java should be called as true OOP. Balaguru Swami, if you are reading, in that also he is mentioning it is a true OOP. Okay, so let's move on ahead. So what is primitive? I have already told you. So primitives are never objects. Each primitive data type, whenever we say primitive data type, means those which are provided by the language. Those which are provided by the language, they are primitive. And those which we create, they are called as user defined. So each primitive data type is having its legal range and what all operations you can do, that is given by the operators of that language. So every language is providing some operator set, and which operations you can do on it, that are also decided by that language designer. Okay, and every primitive data type is having its corresponding wrapper class. Okay, and for what we have to use that wrapper class? To represent that primitive as an object. So if you want to convert that primitive value to an object, use these wrapper classes. Okay, so till here I hope it is clear to you. Right, now what we'll do is we'll first cover these data types. Okay, 4, that is byte, short, int and long, and how they are internally getting stored, that I'll tell you. So first of all, tell me, byte, short, int, long, they all 4 come under which category? They come under integral category. Okay, means are they all for numeric whole numbers? Yes or no? Are they for fractional values or are they only for whole numbers? Yes, guys. Are they all for whole numbers only?
Sir, whole
Yes.
numbers only.
Right, no? Then please answer. They all are for whole numbers. But are they in unsigned category or signed category? Do they come
Signed
all?
category.
Unsigned.
Think again and answer.
Sign category.
Signed category. So what is the speciality if they come under signed category?
Some are negative, some are positive.
Some nahi, half.
Half.
Clear? Matters. Language matters. You have to go to US. Yes or no, guys? Correct? I also come from vernacular medium. I come from Marathi medium, and initially I also faced a lot of problem. Getting? And you people, you have a very big goal. You should aim that you are going to enter into Google and Microsoft. So if you want entry in those organizations, you need to be confident in English as well. Correct? So what you frame, how you write the sentence, that also matters. Correct? So as he said, some are positive, some are negative, or half are positive, half are negative. What should I say? Correct? So according to the range, half positive values, half negative value. So they all come under which category? First of all, tell me. All 4 come under integral, means whole numbers. Here no floating value, only whole numbers. And they all come under signed category, means all 4, whatever range is there, whatever range of byte, short, int and long, in that range, half positive, half negative, half positive, half negative. Getting, guys? Clear? And this character, it is also coming under integral category, whole numbers only, but it is unsigned, means whatever is its range, all are positive. So if its range is 256, so everything from 0 to 255 all positive. Okay, so first we'll cover this 4. Right? Now first of all, tell me all the integral values. Integral means whole numbers. How they will be stored in memory? Will they be stored into their equivalent binary representation? Yes or no, guys? If the value is 35. Okay, if the value is 101. Are these values internally represented in their binary form? 35 converted to binary, 101 converted to binary. Yes or no? At least answer yes or no. There is the issue with the hand raise system in this Google Meet, whatever. But please tell me, what do you say? Are they internally represented as their binary form?
Yes.
Like if the value is 15, suppose, so internally is it represented as 000, one nibble, another nibble, third nibble, and the last one is 1 1 if it is represented as 16-bit number. So like this, if it's represented as 8-bit number, only this much. Getting? So is it represented in the binary form?
Yes.
Okay, but now the next thing is how the negatives are represented. If it's a negative value, minus 45, or if it is minus 13, so how they are represented in memory? How negatives are stored in memory? Like as I told, positives are stored in, how positives are stored? In their corresponding, which form? Binary form.
Binary.
So if it is 15, so it will be represented as 0 0 1 1 1 1. Instead of 15, if it is 12, so it will be represented as 12, means 8 and 4 12 0 0. Equivalent binary. Likewise 101 also will be represented that way. Getting or no? Like it will be 64 plus 32 plus something, and total it will be formed as 101. Okay, but what about negatives? How negatives are stored? First tell me
In
that, and
complement
then
form?
Pardon again?
In complement form?
Complement, but which complement?
Twos?
Two's complement. Very good, very good. Clear? Means you have some basics. Your basics are there. Some basic knowledge you have. Directly you have not started with Java programming. Getting? So it is represented as two's complement form. Very good. Correct? So always remember, in your computer's memory, negative values are stored in two's complement form. I hope you agree with me. But what is two's complement form? What is two's complement form? Is it one's complement?
One's complement plus 1.
Very good. Clear? Plus 1. So whatever is one's complement plus 1. Now you'll say, what is one's complement? One's complement means toggling the bits. If the bit is 0, make it 1. If the bit is 1, make it 0. So 0 is made 1, 1 is made 0. So that is one's complement. And in that, when you add 1, you get two's complement. There is a direct method also. I'll tell you, instead of doing so much lengthy thing, one's complement plus 1 and all. Okay, there is a direct method also. First of all, tell me, if I want to represent, example, I am having plus 12. I am having minus 12. I want to represent this minus 12 in computer's memory. So first I'll represent plus 12. Yes or no, guys?
Yes.
0 0 0 1 1 0 0.
Yes.
Is it plus 12?
Yes.
Okay. Now I want to represent minus 12. I want to represent minus 12. So according to the traditional way, you will do one's complement and then add 1 it. One's complement means this. And now you are going to add 1 in it. Getting? What will be the answer? Tell me. Will it be 1 1 1 1 0? Clear? 1 0 0. What do you say, guys? You are adding 1 with 1, 0, carry 1. Yes or no? 1 plus 1 becomes what? 0, carry 1. Now 1 and 1, 0, carry 1. And 1 plus 0 is 1, and the remaining thing remains as it is. Is this your actual minus 12?
Yes.
Yes. So means this is your plus 12 and this is minus 12 in computer's memory. And you can recognize it from this sign bit. Is this last bit called as a sign bit? Answer yes or no. The last bit, that is the MSB. MSB means most significant bit.
Yes.
This is called as least significant bit. This is called as most significant
Yes.
bit. So is this most significant bit a sign bit?
Yes.
Yes. And you should always see if the sign bit is 0, your number is sure positive. And if the sign bit is 1, the number is sure negative. You understanding, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so according to computer internal representation, if the sign bit is 1, it is a negative number. If the sign bit is 0, it is a positive number. So now I wanted to represent minus 12. I wanted to store minus 12 in computer's memory. So what I did, I took plus 12, its one's complement, 1 added, and then what I get, that is minus 12. Okay, you can do it directly also. What you can do is, in your plus number, positive number, whatever is this positive number, from LSB, see here, this is your positive number. Okay, hear carefully, all of you. If you are attending means you are hearing me carefully, because those who are not interested, they don't join. Right or no? 0, 0, 0, 0. 1, 1, 0, 0. This is your positive 12. Now I want to represent negative 12. And negative 12 is 1's complement plus 1. But I am giving you a easy technique. What you can do is from LSB. This is your LSB. LSB means least significant bit. This is MSB, most significant bit. So from LSB, till you don't get first 1, keep it as it is. 0 as 0, 0 as 0, 1 as 1. This is your first 1. Till there as it is. And after that you complement. Means after that you start complementing it. Getting? This is your direct 2's complement. You're understanding? Such machines you might have designed in your digital electronics. In digital electronics, you might have designed such machines using flip-flops and all. Sequence diagram you might have done. Then you might have implemented adders, 1's complement machine, 2's complement machine. I don't know whether you have done it or not. Okay. So how to find 2's complement? From LSB. Till you don't get first 1, keep it as it is. And then do the complement. Then 1's complement. Do you get the same answer? Can you check? See here. Now from LSB, what I was going to do, I was going to keep as it is, and then I am going to do complement. Yes or no?
Yes.
See here. Right? Is it the same answer directly?
Yes.
Okay, so henceforth, whenever I say find 2's complement, you will not do 1's complement plus 1. Instead, what you'll do? Can anyone tell me? No, not a single
We'll
person.
keep least significant bit as it is and change the remaining most significant bit.
Change the remaining,
Up to getting 1.
After getting 1.
Yeah.
Here, what he's saying is from LSB, till we don't get first 1, from LSB, till we don't get first 1, we will keep it as it is. Can you see? 0, 0, 1. I've kept it as it is. So what you have to say, the general algorithm, from LSB till the first 1 is not encountered, keep it as it is. And after that, simply complement. Complement means make 1 as 0 and 0 as 1. That is your direct 2's complement. Okay. Now this part is done. Complete. Okay. So this part is clear. So from this, what you got to know, can you tell me in crux what conclusion you'll do? Point 1. Okay. How whole numbers are stored in computer's memory. Point number 1. How whole numbers are stored in computer's memory?
In binary form.
In their binary form. Good. Very good. Second, how negative whole numbers are stored?
Second complementary form.
2's complement form. Okay. Point 3. How is 2's complement form found? Either you do 1's complement plus 1, or from LSB till you don't get first 1, keep it as it is, and then complement.
Yes.
Okay. How do you recognize it's a positive number or a negative number?
By its byte first.
So what is that called as? Everything, all the technical words you should know.
MSD.
Getting
Sign bit.
everything, that is called as sign bit. You should
Sign bit.
remember the 3 Idiot movie.
Yeah.
The 3 Idiot movie, he was asked for definition of machine. Getting? So when he told it in an easy way, the teacher didn't understood. But when he told that correct definition of the textbook, then he said right. So that is the education system. The proper words, what are the technical words, no? That only you have to use. Though you have understood the concept, but you have to answer that in that technical way only. So this is called as a sign bit or MSB. So if your MSB 0, it is positive, and if it is 1, it is
Negative.
okay. Now we'll see how the ranges are calculated, and you will only tell me the range. I'll give you the sizes, you will tell me automatically the range. But before that, we will discuss how the range is calculated for signed numbers, signed integers. Okay, so we are going to discuss now how the range is calculated for signed integers. So for example, consider 3-bit signed integer. Actually, there is no data type with 3-bit. Minimum it is 8-bit. Then it is 16-bit. Then it is 32-bit. And then it is 64-bit. 8-bit means byte, 16-bit means short, 32-bit means integer, and 64 bits means long. 8-bit makes 1 byte, 16-bit 2 bytes. Getting? This is 4 byte and this is 8 byte. Getting, guys? So that is in byte form and this is in bit form. I am taking as an example, my dear students. Understand carefully. I am just taking an example as a 3-bit signed. Never you have a 3-bit signed. Either you'll have 8-bit or 16-bit or 32-bit or 64. But that will be too big to explain you. Therefore, for example, I have taken 3-bit. Okay, so what we are assuming that our data type is a 3-bit signed integer. Integer means whole number. Signed means half positive, half negative. Now, if it is 3-bit, so what will be the total capacity? How many total numbers you can form from 3-bit? If it is 3-bit, so total numbers formed are 2 raised to 3. And what is 2 raised to 3? 8. Is 2 raised to 3 8? Yes or no, guys? In proper words I have written.
Yes.
2 raised to 3. Which we write like this. Okay? Do we write it like this? 2 raised to 3. Why 2 only? Because in binary, there are only 2 possible numbers. One is 0 and one is 1. Are there only 2 numbers? 0 and 1. Therefore 2. And how many bits are there? 3 bits. So 3 bits means 2 raised to 3 combinations. How many combinations you'll get? 8. So from this, what you got to know, if your data type is a 3-bit signed integer, then in that 3-bit signed integer, total how many numbers can be formed? 8 numbers. But as it is signed, will all 8 be positive or 4 positive, 4 negative?
4 positive, 4 negative.
4 negative. But what about 0? Will 0 be 2 times? No.
1.
Clear? Will 0 be 2 times? No, 0 is positive, no? So it will go in positive category like this. See here, 0, 1, 2, 3. This total positives are 4. But negative 0 is not there. Therefore, negative side you will get -4, -3, -2, -1. Are they total 8 only? See here,
Yes.
4 negative
Yes.
and 4
Positive.
positive. Getting? 4 negatives are there and 4 positives are there. 0 is not twice. Okay, but how this comes out to be, how this is calculated, I'll tell you, don't worry. Okay? So first of all, you got to know if your data is signed integer 3-bit, so total possibilities are 2 raised to 3, that is 8 total numbers are formed. Bitwise, if I do it, will it be 0, 0, 0? Then this 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1. All these 4 with a sign bit 0. And now all these 4 only with sign bit 1. Do you agree, guys?
Yes. Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So are there all together 8 combinations? So why I took only 3 bit? Because I can show you for 3 bit it's feasible for me. But if I take 8, so 2 raised to 8, 2 raised to 8 is 256. Can I show you 256 combination? Feasible? No. Therefore for example I took 3 bit. Okay? Now tell me, if I convert it to decimal, am I supposed to directly convert to decimal? Yes or no?
Yes.
Because the sign bit is, what is the sign bit?
Positive.
Means 0.
Yes.
The sign bit is 0, therefore it is positive. So am I supposed to convert into 2's complement? No. Directly convert, directly convert, directly convert, directly. I got 0, 1, 2, 3. From here onwards, can I convert it directly to decimal? No.
No.
Because the sign bit is
Negative. 1. 1.
1. So as the sign bit is 1, it is considered as which number? Negative. So can I convert direct decimal, or first I have to convert it into 2's complement?
2's complement first.
What is 2's complement of 100? Same, no?
Yes.
0, 0,
One.
1. What I told from LSB, till I don't get first one as it is, and then but there is nothing now after that, because your number is how many bit number?
3.
3 bit. So this is my original number. This is after 2's complement. Now find the decimal of this. What is the decimal of this? 4. But am I supposed to write 4 or I have to write minus 4?
Minus 4.
Because you didn't get it by direct decimal. First you converted it to which form?
2's complement.
And then it's decimal. Always remember, any binary, when you first convert to 2's complement, then its decimal is to be always put with a sign minus. Getting, guys? When we put a sign minus, when we have converted anything to 2's complement and then decimal. Okay, so is it going to be minus 4? Same way, the next one, tell me. 101. What is 2's complement of 101? Is it 1? Is it 1 and 0? Do you agree with me? Others
Yes.
also, if you are hearing me carefully,
Yes, sir. Yes,
please
sir.
keep
Correct.
responding. Sure, this is 101 in binary form. But can I convert directly to decimal this number? First tell me why I cannot convert directly to decimal.
Because it is
No, because it is starting from 1.
Meaning its sign bit is
1.
1. And when in sign bit it is 1, for computer the number is negative, and negative numbers are in 2's complement. So first you convert to 2's complement. What you get? 0, 1, 1. What is the decimal of this? 0, 1, 1.
Minus 3.
Decimal. Minus 3. Very good. You told me the direct answer. Decimal is 3, but I am putting minus sign. Why I put minus sign? Because I didn't get it from direct decimal. I have got first 2's complement and then decimal. Whenever 2's complement and then decimal, you always have to put minus 3. Okay, so this is minus 3. Same way, common sense, will it be minus 2?
Yes.
Will it be minus 1?
Yes.
You can check. See here. If it is 1, 1, 0, 2's complement is 0, 1, 0, which is 2 but with sign minus. And same thing, tell me if it is all 3 1. So will it be 1, 0, 0, and this is 1 but with sign minus. So from this, what did you observe? That if your data is 3-bit, data means data type, is 3-bit signed integer, then it will have possible how many numbers in its capacity? According to 3-bit capacity, it will have total 8 numbers, and in 8, 4 are positive, 4 are negative. Can you see? Is the minimum and the maximum, is it like this? If you put it here, 0, 1, 2, 3, minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1. Getting? So cyclic way if I show, will it be like this? Getting or no? If I do it like this, so one side who is the highest, 3, and the other side who is the minimum, minus 4. Yes or no, guys?
Yes, sir.
Meaning, is one side the minimum value minus 4 and the other side the maximum value is 3. You agree? It is minus 4 and the other side is minus 3. See here, 3, minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2 and 3. Okay? So this you got as a range for 3-bit signed integer. Can I write it in 2 power form? See here I am writing 2 raised to 3 minus 1 to 2 raised to 3 minus 1 minus 1. What do you say, guys? Is it right?
Yes,
if
sir.
I write it in 2 power form?
Yes, sir.
2 raised to 3 is, don't consider this sign inside, it is outside. So 2 raised to 3 is,
2.
very sorry, 2 raised to 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 is
2.
2 and 2 raised to 2 is
4.
4. Same way, 2 raised to 2 is
4.
minus 1. This is down minus
3.
1. 3. So generalize, you got 2 raised to 3 minus 1 to 2 raised to 3 minus 1 minus 1. Can I write it in a general form? Minus 2 raised to n minus 1 to 2 raised to n minus 1 minus 1. In general,
Yes.
where n is the number of bits in your signed integer. Whatever is your signed integer, in that signed integer, n indicates the number of bits. Okay? So as the example which I took, in that my number of bits were,
3.
so I have taken n as 3. But now you people tell me, in general, can we go on substituting the number of bits for byte, short, int and long, and can you tell me the range? Getting? If this part is clear to you, then you can sure tell me for byte, the number of bits are 8. Means the number of bytes, if you want I'll make it in a table form. Bits, number of bits, number of bytes, the minimum and the maximum. Okay? For byte, short, int, long, you only will tell. You don't have to even by heart. I'll just tell you the bytes, the bits and the bytes. Number of bits are 16, number of bytes are 2. 32, number of bytes are 4. Long, 64, number of bytes are 8. You don't have to tell me the value. You can just tell me in 2 power form. Getting? In place of n, you have to substitute this 8. In place of n, you have to substitute this 16. Getting, guys? In place of n, you have to substitute this 32. In place of n, you have to substitute that 64. And after substituting, can you tell me what will be this range and that range? What will be the minimum and what will be the maximum?
Minus 2 raised to 8 minus 1.
5. 5 nahi. How much? Minus. See the formula.
8
Minus.
minus 2 raised to 8 minus 1.
Directly you tell me. That is 2 raised to 7. So can I write 2 raised to 7? Actually, raised to is not this sign, but now for time being you understand. And what will be this side?
2 raised to 7 minus 1.
2 raised to 7 minus 1. That minus 1 is down. Huh?
Outside.
Okay. So minus 2 raised to 7 is how much? Minus 2 raised to 7 is actually minus 128. And tell me if the capacity is 8 bits, so how many total numbers it will form? 2 raised to 8, which is equal to 256. Do you agree, guys?
Yes.
2 raised to 8 is 256. And when it is 256, half are positive, half are negative. So what is half of 256? 128. So 128 numbers are positive. Getting? 0 and this side 127. Because 0 to 127 are also 128 numbers only. And minus 1 to 127 are also 128. So total they are how much? 256 only. Getting, na guys?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So then quickly can you tell me the minimum and the maximum for short? Very simple. You just have to put in place of n.
Minus 2 raised to 15.
Yes, minus 2 raised to 15 to 2 raised to 15
Minus 1.
minus 1. Same way. Minus 2 raised to
31.
yes, very good. To 2 raised to 31 minus 1. And here minus 2 raised to
63.
63 to 2 raised to 63 minus 1. I hope it is clear. Just give me all of you unanimously, means all of you in at one time you should say that yes, we have got this clear, or we have understood how this formula came. Minus 2 raised to n minus 1 to 2 raised to n minus 1 minus 1.
Yes, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Sure?
Yes, sir.
Others also, there are many people attending. Getting? Many have patience, many cannot hear me for a long time. They can hear maximum 1 hour, okay? And after 1 hour they start leaving the session. Okay? Should not happen. You should attend till end. But there are very sincere students also, like Shreya is one of that. She has, I'll show you, she has written everything in the past 8-9 sessions, whatever I have taught, she has written it, everything. We can make a book of it. Getting? If I just check her grammar and all, that if I correct, it can be a good book in the market. And not even that she has copied from there. She has just recalled it. Recalled whatever I have taught her, she has recalled and presented it. I'll share what she has sent me in the group. Please others see. Why? Because I don't want to put a competition. You should also get inspired that yes, we also can write it. Yes, I also can write in that way. Correct? So please try writing it. Whatever I tell you, try to make your own notes. This is clear to you. I hope it is clear. Right? Now, Java has given the wrapper classes, you know already. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Already wrapper classes are there.
Yes.
Using that wrapper class also, you can print them. Okay? See here, what they have done is, they have given you, you don't have to do it. It's already there in the lang package. Class byte. Will this class be already there in the lang package? Yes or no, guys?
Yes, it will.
You don't define, it's there.
Yes.
And in that class, there are two constants. See here, like that. Public, static. Public means you can access it anywhere. Static means to access it, no need to create an object. You don't have to create an object of it. Final, meaning you cannot change it. And there is a constant with the data type byte only. Primitive byte. And it is like this, min value. Okay. And in that they have stored the minimum of byte. And the minimum of byte is minus 128. Same way, there is one more. Public, static, final, byte. Final means you cannot modify. Static means to access it, no need to create an object. Public means you can access it anywhere. And the other is max value, in which there is plus 127. And now can I access these two constants? This min value, max value. Can I access it? Means can I create my another program, some other program class test, in that public static void main, then string args, And inside that, in system.out.println, can I print and see these values? Min underscore value, like this.
Yes.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
It is legal. Byte dot max underscore value. Correct? Can we access it? 100%. Because tell me first of all, is this min value, max value? Are they two members of this byte class?
Yes.
You don't have to do it. This is already done. Okay, you just have to access it. As they are static and final, as it is final, obviously you cannot modify, and static means directly you can access. You don't have to create an object. Can I directly access class name dot? I've many times told you in the past, when you are accessing class name dot, it is static. Object dot, it is instance. And you know there are only two types of members: static member, instance member. One session we have discussed on that only, guys. Yes or no? Okay. So this way, can I access the minimum maximum of integer also, byte also, short also, long also? Okay. You can do it. So quickly you can see. Now I discussed it for more than half an hour. On the slide I have just given you in one table form. Is this range valid? Minus 2 raised to 7 to 2 raised to 7 minus 1. Okay, quickly we can see one very simple program. Our folder is TY 2021-22, I guess. Yes, this is not the one. All the Java programs this way, no. That one only is. This one only. I'll give type demo dot Java class type demo public static void main string args system dot out dot println, and your byte dot min value and system dot out dot println byte dot max value. So I hope somewhat applications of these wrapper classes you are getting it. This is a wrapper class of corresponding byte class. Same way you can try printing for short, for integer, for long. Getting? I'll just change the class names. Here I'll make it as long. Here as long. Just see to it. Don't write L small. Why? Why L small is not allowed? Because this is
Wrapper class.
Class. Wrapper class is there, but it's a class name.
Yes.
And according to Java, class names never start with
Small.
clear? Never. They have used a convention only. Correct? Here it is integer. Complete integer after it. And here it is short. Okay? Now compile it and run and see. Let's go to the folder. This one, I guess. Yes. Okay? So javac and the classes, the file name is demo type.java. Sorry, type demo.java and Java type demo. Okay? See. Is first minus 128 to plus 127. Next is 32768. Then this is approximately 2 billion. Getting? And this is how much you find out. Correct? Now remember, in Java each data type is having ranges, but this is not true in some language. Like parallelly you are learning Python also. So Python doesn't have such capacity concept only. There is no concept called capacity in that language. Okay, they say whatever is your data type, that is the capacity. Okay, hope it is clear. Right, now about char data type I have to tell you, but it will take time for explaining it. So we will take that in the next session about char data type, and then I'll tell you about float and double, and then I'll tell you about boolean. Okay, then all the data types will be covered. Then we'll be starting with operators. We'll talk about operators also. Okay, so for today we'll stop all of you.